Ballender. I live on Kew Road. I've been in Cleveland Heights for 5 years. And I'm happy to be a part
Neighbor
of
of
this
the
group.
mayor.
Yes,
Start a
indeed.
little louder, please.
I will, thank you. I'm Carol Ballender. I live on Kew Road, and I've been a resident of Cleveland Heights for 5 years. I'm going to ask you a question about collaboration.
Okay.
Okay? There are limits to what city government can do by itself. Cleveland Heights has a wonderful history of community groups identifying problems and initiating projects to address them. Please talk about your views of collaboration and any additional ways you would like to see the city work with all segments of our community, from individuals to neighborhood groups, nonprofits, and businesses to strengthen our city.
Well, I think collaboration is essential, and I think it can occur at multiple levels in multiple ways. I think the first responsibility of the city government is to create the environment in which collaborations are welcomed and encouraged, whether or not we take part in them or not. I think that having a climate where you are willing to work with people, to listen to new ideas, and not be so defensive about one's own turf, that then allows for collaboration to grow. I think you all know that I stepped out on this. Apparently the third rail, I was unaware it was so controversial. It seemed kind of natural to me to talk about merging Cleveland Heights and University Heights. But I just want to talk about it. Let's throw these ideas out there. Actually, it could be Cleveland Heights, University Heights, and Shaker Heights. I think that's, the Heights, it's kind of nice. Maybe South Euclid's in there, I don't know. Maybe it's University Heights and South Euclid. I think that whatever it is, we need to talk about it, we need to support those kinds of honest discussions in an environment where just because you have an idea that someone may not like doesn't mean you're a bad person or have a bad intent, right? I'm not trying to take over Burrell's kingdom. I just wanted to talk about it. I think that's the first and foremost thing. Let's allow for discussion. Let's be open about it. Let's throw out ideas. In doing that, I'm proud to say I think we'll move very far down the road of at least shared services. I think that we can merge the fire departments relatively straightforwardly. We've laid a lot of the base work. We've worked together so we have the same training. We have the same kind of equipment. So our fire hoses will connect to their fire hydrants and vice versa. So I think that could save multiple millions of dollars for both cities. I think that we have to look beyond just our own city. It's got to be the region. We've got to move forward as a whole. I think another place where collaboration I actually helped push, and I'm very proud of, is we just passed this, we got this stimulus money for homelessness. We didn't ask for it. We didn't have the systems. They said, we're giving you $713,000. And by the way, you have to give it to the county because they have all of the systems. They should have just given it to the county in my book. But so, okay, now we got the money and we got to give it to the county. Well, how do we ensure in Cleveland Heights that we're using the money for Cleveland Heights residents, because it came to Cleveland Heights, it's now our money. How do we make sure that we're getting to the citizens who really need it here? Well, we don't have those networks. The city has never built that because it wasn't we didn't have a lot of apparent homelessness in Cleveland Heights. Well, what I said was, and actually was followed up on, this is what we're going to do. The place where people in Cleveland Heights especially go when they're in need is to their faith community. They go to their church, they go to their synagogue, they go to whatever, to their congregation. And those are the people who know who are in the most perilous positions. So what we're doing is partnering with the churches now to make sure that the people who are in need are being referred to the county so that they can get the money. So the money goes to the county, the churches can get the people to them. So I think that's the kind of partnership that we can do. I think the partnership the city has with HRRC and the Lutheran Housing to do the renovation. I think partnering with private business like we did with NeuroWave. We used our city block grant money to give them a loan so that they could operate. And we allowed the loan to be forgiven by the increase in income tax that they brought to the city. So over the next 5 years, they actually pay the loan back out of what they're paying their income tax. So I think those kinds of partnerships are important. It's being innovative, it's being aware that problems are best solved by people who are out there doing it, not always going to be city government.
I'm Russell Baruch, 20-year resident, Lamberton Road. I'm going to get right to my short question because we're running out of time.
Sorry.
It seems. No, don't be. This is under the header social/community inclusion. The question is, we are a community that is proud of its diversity, as you've indicated, in our tradition of inclusion. How do you see these issues and where can we improve?
How do I see these issues? I think that you can only be strengthened by having differences around you that are welcomed and draw upon those strengths, whether it be religion, race, sexual orientation, gender identity, socioeconomics, the whole mix. It's what makes a community vibrant. I think there are always things that you can improve and strengthen in that. From a government standpoint, I think the policy statements are important. I introduced and was passed last Monday, we now added gender identity and expression to our non-discrimination ordinances in Cleveland Heights. That's, we actually now are a leader in the state by the scorecard in terms of inclusion. So, I think that it's part and parcel of who and what we are in this community. It's I don't know how else to say it. And we just stay vigilant and we make sure that we welcome people. I think that's one of the big threats with this, downturn. And these people react badly when someone new moves into the neighborhood and carries a different set of values with them into the neighborhood. And sometimes that can be covertly discussed in terms of, those people are renters, or those people are from inner Cleveland. And you start to get this sense of, somehow we in the Heights are better. And that's not who or what we are. We have to find a way when people come, people are going to come, we want people to come, who come from a different background, from a different culture, from a different socioeconomic status, that behavior that they bring with them that may or may not be appropriate here. It may have been appropriate where they came from. It's not appropriate here. How do we help them with the tools and the understanding to become part of our community instead of becoming a pariah in our community? That's inclusiveness to me.
And now we're to your last question, Robin Coslin on Wood Road, and environmental sustainability is my topic. Environmental sustainability is a critical need and a 21st century priority. Increasingly, green initiatives are not only fundamental, but promise to create excitement and generate economic development for individuals and communities. What role should city government have in fostering environmental sustainability and eco-friendly lifestyles?
Well, I think we have to make sure that our building and zoning codes allow people to do novel things. The straw bale house, rain barrels on gutters, those kinds of things. And traditional code didn't do that, so we have to do that. Pervious concrete in your driveway, those kinds of things. So that's the first and easy one. I think we as a city need to make our decisions in terms of our contracting, in terms of our purchases, in terms of the way we run our facilities. We need to be more aware of energy conservation, the way to do it that's more environmentally sustainable, to have a lower carbon footprint. Mayor Kelly, on behalf of the city, signed the mayoral equivalent of the Quito Agreement, and we've been working to try and decrease our carbon footprint. We actually, Mayor Kelly and I spearheaded getting the city to lease a hybrid car so we could run a cost analysis, because they cost more, unfortunately. Are we going to save enough money? Will it pay back the city? And the analysis came back that actually you may pay a little bit more overall, but it's the right thing to do because we're saving gas, we're polluting less. And even if it costs a little bit more, I think it's the right thing to do. So we're moving our fleet into a hybrid fleet mode. And I think the more those decisions are made, the prices come down. I think the benefits will come out. So I think there's some responsibility in that way to make sure we're operating in an environmentally conscious way to the maximum extent possible.
Good. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.